So today we are going to discuss about what is SAP HANA. So what is SAP? Already we discussed. So SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products for Data Processing. Okay. Already we discussed this one. SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products. Okay. So already we discussed at the time of SAP demo session. SAP stands for Systems, Applications and Products. So systems means operating systems. Like SAP, already we discussed, SAP is OS independent. So we can able to install SAP on Windows, Linux, AX, Mac OS, Solaris. Okay. So systems. So what we are using the systems means the OS for SAP installation. The systems means operating systems, and applications means here. Systems means operating systems. Application means SAP applications. Each like ERP, CRM, SRM, SCM. 4 applications are there. So those are applications. So these are applications. And what about the products? SAP products like EHP 5, EHP 6, EHP 7. So those are the products. So by using systems, operating systems, by using the applications, SAP developed applications, by using the products, SAP products, we process the data. That is nothing but SAP. Already we discussed at the time of SAP basis demonstration. So next we will discuss about HANA, SAP HANA. High performance analytical and appliance. See here, HANA stands for High Performance Analytical Appliance. Okay. So for example, if you take the functional modules, already we discussed this one also, like SD, FICO, and HR, and PM. So if you want to learn these function modules, compulsory we need domain knowledge. So compulsory we need domain knowledge. For example, if you take SAP SD, MBA marketing people are eligible. Means MBA marketing background is mandatory for learn SAP SD. Okay. So in the same way, FICO, MBA finance people are eligible. Otherwise, BCom, like MCom people are also eligible. That's a finance background. Okay. So if you take SAP HR, so minimum one year knowledge on SAP HR activities. Okay. Like MBA HR people are eligible for this module. And if you take a SAP material management, so BTech civil people are eligible for this course. BTech civil people are eligible for this. So if you take any module, any functional module, compulsory need domain knowledge. This is a module. This is a domain knowledge. For example, if you take Java, C, C++ are the domain knowledge for learn Java. The same way, if you want to learn SD, FICO, HRMM, they need some domain knowledge. Okay. In the same way, if you want to learn SAP HANA, if you want to learn SAP, I'm talking about HANA administration. So HANA two types, administration development. We'll discuss later. So if you want to learn SAP HANA admin, so compulsory or background should be SAP basis. So this is like SAP HANA is like SAP basis. So what are the concepts in SAP basis, like installation and user administration, role administration, and like backups, recoveries, okay, like license installation, monitoring activities, everything is same like SAP basis. So if you want to learn SAP HANA admin, compulsory our background should be as a basis consultant. Okay, so understood this point. So next to, if you take SAP HANA two types: administration and development. Okay, so just now we'll discuss now. So if you want to learn SAP HANA administration, our background should be SAP basis. And if you want to learn SAP HANA development, SAP BW, SAP BO, BW or BI, both are same. So if you want to learn SAP development, HANA development, so these modules people are eligible. If you want to learn SAP HANA administration, the basis consultants are eligible. Got it? So this is. So next thing is, so just now we discussed high performance, so analytical appliance, HANA stands for. Okay, what is high performance? So for example, if you take traditional database, so if you take traditional databases are like so Oracle database and Max DB, DB to DBA, MySQL, and Sybase. But high performance is till now we have only one database, that is HANA. Traditional databases. So why these are called as traditional database means relational databases. So compulsory we need hard disk whenever we are using these type of databases. For example, if you take SAP basis, SAP ECC installation, so we have three layers: presentation layer, application layer, and database layer. It means so SAP having no space. SAP having no space, each and everything should be stored in database, no? So that's why we need a database layer. Okay, so what we perform in SAP Lagan, those are stored in the database only. Database means the drive, like a D drive or E drive, what we assigned at the time of his installation, SAP installation. Okay, so if you take Oracle, whenever we are using Oracle as a database, so everything is stored in database only. So like MaxDB, DB2DB, MySQL, and Sybase. It means so separate layer. SAP having no space, each and everything should be stored in database only. But this is HANA, high performance. It means in memory database, in memory. Okay, so data is not stored in SAP, not in hard disk. Data is the transaction data is not stored in SAP. Why? Because SAP having no space. Already we discussed this point. And not stored in database. This is not like a traditional database. So in middle of SAP and the hard disk, we have RAM. So in middle of the hardware and the software, this is software, this is hardware. We have RAM, random access memory. The data is stored RAM only. Instead of hard disk, the data is stored in RAM only. Okay. So why? Because SAP having no space. Already we discussed that one. Okay. So the next option is hard disk. So until so present, like if you take ECC installation, compulsory we need to assign D drive for SAP installation. Means that's a data storing purpose. But here, so no need any hard disk. Everything is stored in RAM only. So transaction data is stored in RAM only. Okay. So high performance. What is the meaning of high performance? So see here. This is application layer. This is presentation layer. Like user interface. Presentation layer nothing but user interface. Okay. So if you take traditional, this is traditional database. Okay. So in traditional database, so whenever you want to retrieve data from the database, for example, so go to SU01, and if you want to change something in the like user profile, like is the mobile number is you want to update, and the password you want to change, like this. So first to go to SU01 and enter the existing user now. So then we need to click on change. Why? Because I want to change something in the profile, user profile. So whenever click on change, the request go to database, presentation layer to application layer to database layer, and fetch the user details, and it displays the window. Okay. So here per second, database layer can able to send, can able to push 120 MB per second. Per second in traditional database. I'm talking about traditional database. In traditional database, the database able to push 120 MB data per second. Okay. If you take high performance database, in high performance database, 100 GB per second. So you can observe here the variation. Where is 120 MB per second? Where is 100 GB per second? That is high performance. Okay. So it retrieving so very fast. So retrieving very fast, like from database. If you want to fetch the data very fast compared with the traditional database. Okay. So why the traditional high performance database is it gives a fast access if you want to fetch the data from database. But if you try traditional database, we are able to fetch only 120 MB per second. Why? Because we'll discuss. Okay. So for example, if you take SAP, like if you take SAP ECC, we have three layers. SAP ECC, we have three layers. Presentation layer, application layer, and database, compulsory database. Okay. So whenever we send a request, like whenever we enter one T code like SU01, okay, and it displays the window SU01 window, enter the, if you want to create one user, enter the username, click on create. What happened? The request go to application layer for processing purpose. After processing, the data need to saved in database. Why? Because SAP having no space, no? So ultimately the data is stored in database only. So see here, so this is the first step, second step, and third step. It means the request need to be travel 3 steps, and finally in third step data going to be stored. 3 steps compulsory. The request need to be travel. Okay. So for example, if you take SAP HANA, what happened? Presentation layer. This is application layer. So user request to, so like a GUI. This is first step and second step. There is no third layer. So whenever we enter the T code in presentation layer, the request goes to application layer and no need to go to database layer. So why? Because see here, the data is stored in RAM only instead of the hard disk. Instead of the hard disk, the data is stored in RAM. So RAM is available in the motherboard only. That's nothing but application layer. So that's why we are using minimum 128 GB RAM. Yes, minimum is 128 GB. So on 64 GB, okay, we install. We can able to install, but we are not able to perform backups, restores, recovery. For only, okay, SAP HANA is installed. Okay, this is installed. So after that, we are not able to perform anything. Why? Because there is no space. 64-bit is only for installation purpose. Apart from that, we can't able to do anything. Like even users creations also. Okay, users creations okay, but the backups, resource recovery is not possible. So that's why minimum is 128 GB required. Okay. So we'll discuss the hardware configuration. No need to go to database. The data is stored in RAM only. And if you want to fetch the data from RAM to presentation layer to user interface. But we are using hard disk also, but that is not treated as a database. In SAP HANA, we are using hard disk also. Okay. But if you take SAP ECC installation, hard disk is treated as a database. But in SAP HANA, hard disk is that's treated as a only for backups. Why? Because the RAM is volatile. It means whenever the power is gone, automatically RAM is going to be silent. Okay. So the data we need to like backups, restores, recovery purpose, we need to take the backup at a hard disk. Okay. So that's why we are using hard disk. For example, okay, we'll discuss the hardware's configuration. Understood this point? Okay. So that's why the SAP HANA is very powerful. Why? Because, for example, if you take this is like this is also treated as a database. HANA is a database, but already existing databases are there. Traditional database, Oracle, DB2DB, those are very popular databases. Okay, so whenever the new database comes into the market, we need to check out what are the features are available on the new database. Why? Because already existing databases are there. The people are already working on the databases. So whenever we buy a new database, that's very like it takes time. Why? Because there is a new database. Okay, so that's why first to whenever the database is comes to the market, we need to check what are the features are there. Compared with the existing databases, what are the features? For example, so if you take the Geo SIM, why it is very popular? So already number of the SIMs are there, like Airtel, Idea, those are very old companies. But so the people are very interested for Geo because of the features, the offers. The same way, SAP HANA introduced in-memory database, in memory, not in hard disk, in memory only. The transaction data is stored in, instead of the hard disk, the data is stored in RAM only. That is the main feature here. No need to go to third layer. Okay, this is. So here in SAP HANA, so just we'll just gonna the high performance. Understood this one? High performance. And next to analytical, that is handled by the BO people. And appliance, what is the meaning of appliance? Appliance, the meaning is collection of things. Appliance meaning is collection of things. In SAP HANA, so for example, if you take the mobile, for example, if you take a mobile like a CPU, just we call it as CPU only. But inside of the CPU, motherboard is there, RAM is there, hard disk is there, SMPS is there. Okay, number of the processor. Okay, combination of all these things we are called as there is a CPU. Okay, inside of the CPU, these are the things. So CPU is the appliances. So collection of things. CPU is appliance like a motherboard, RAM, hard disk, SMPS, a processor, and cables. Okay, these all are like the combination of all these things we are called as a CPU only. The same way, SAP HANA is a combination of some appliance. These are SAP HANA Studio. This is like our SAP logon pad. Okay, SAP HANA Studio. Second one is SAP HANA Client, and third one is HANA Database. SAP HANA system is different. SAP HANA database is different. Database is the database is the part of the SAP HANA system. Combination of all these things were called as a SAP HANA. So these are the appliances. SAP HANA Studio. This is like GUI, SAP GUI, SAP HANA client. We should install on client side, and SAP HANA database. This is for storing purpose. Okay. So here SAP HANA Studio, it is like supported to any operating system. This is like our GUI. We are able to install on any OS, SAP HANA Studio, and SAP HANA client also we are able to install any OS. But SAP HANA database we should install on SUSE Linux only. So SAP HANA is a combination of Studio, client, and database. That's SAP HANA that's not a only database. Sorry. Okay, so SAP HANA that's a system. SAP HANA is a system. That's not a separate. That's not only a database. That's not only a software. That's a combination of the software and HANA Studio, HANA Client, and database. Got it? This one. So next one is so in memory. Already we discussed in memory. Na? The second one, column-oriented storage. The first one is in-memory database. Already we discussed that point. First one is in memory. Second one is column oriented storage. Third one is parallel processing. Parallel processing. So in-memory database means already we discussed now that the transaction data is available in RAM only. So next one is a column-oriented storage. What is column-oriented storage? See here. So for example, we have a table in database. We have a table. I will explain by using one small example. This is like a customer number, product, and quantity and price. Okay, so here customer like C1, C01, product are like hard disk, quantity, only one quantity. For example, that is like 480. Example only. So second one, customer to, that's like motherboard, motherboard, only one quantity. For example, that is like 550. Okay, so customer 3, external hard disk, 2 quantity, that is like 800. Okay, this is a small table in database. Okay, this is small table in database. So we have a query. I want to check out highest paid customer instead of the price. Highest paid customer instead of the price. I want to find out from this table. I want to check out who is paying the highest amount. Okay, so whenever I execute the query, so see here in traditional database. So Manoj garu, how should this one? So this is a table in database. I want to check out highest paid customer instead of the price. Instead of the price, I want to check out highest paid customer. We execute the query. So what happened? So see here in traditional database, the first the request goes to C01 and so check out hard disk, means it read the hard disk and 1 and 480. So next C02, it read motherboard and it read the quantity 1 and it read 550. C03, the external hard disk, to quantity, price 800. So see here, the request need to go to every row. Okay, the request need to go to, and finally by using the aggregate, it fetch this one. Okay, so for example, this is in third row. Okay, for example, the table having 1,000 rows, it need to set 1,000 rows. Okay, so every row it can search. So if the table having 1,000 rows, 1,000 rows it can able to search. Okay, so this is time taken process. Why? Because for example, if we search for this row, so here from customer one to product, so whenever he go to customer one to hard disk, the hard disk, for example, it takes 1 MB. Okay, so for completion of this row, so 1 2 3, so 3 4 in 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, so 11 MB required for this process. Why? Because this is only three rows for 11 MB it takes. Okay, for example, so here if you take HANA, customer number, the product, quantity, and price. Okay, so the first customer is customer 1, C01, product, so hard disk, quantity 1, price 480, and if you take C02, customer 2, motherboard, only one quantity, this is 550. Customer 3, external hard disk, 2 number of quantity, this is 800. Okay, so see here, but here in traditional database the data is stored in row wise. The data is stored in row wise, but if you take here, vertical not horizontal, means column wise only. Actually our query is, I want to check highest paid customer. Paid customer means price and customer number only, no need. Okay, so once we check the query, I want to check highest paid customer. The query is want to check customer instead of price. Okay, so see here, paid customer instead of price. So we need these two columns only, no need the product, no need quantity, customer and price. So in this query, whenever we execute in SAP HANA, it ignores the price, sorry, the product and columns. Okay, it takes only customer column and price column only. Okay, so first it read C01 480 and C02 550, C03 800. So this is the highest. See here, it takes 1 MB. So 1 MB, 2 MB, and 3 MB. The same query, whenever we execute in traditional database, it takes 11 MB, but here only 3 MB. Got it? So see here, same table, same query, but it executes in traditional database. It takes 11 MB. Why? Because it read every row. If the table having 1,000 rows, it can be read. But here, it skips the so it takes only the required column, and it skips the non-required columns. Got it? So
What is the total?
yes. So highest paid customer. So quantity, no need this one and this one. He need only customer number and the price, highest price. So this is, got it. This is nothing but column oriented storage. SAP HANA support to row wise and column storage, row wise storage and column wise storage. Depends on the requirement. We can select any of that one. Okay. So third one is parallel processing. Parallel processing. So what is the meaning of parallel processing? So see here. So this is a building. The building having 4 floors. 4 floors building is there. This is the first floor, second floor, third floor, and this is fourth floor. Okay. The owner of this building, so he assigned only one person for complete the paint work. Only one person is recruited for this the paint work. Okay, so for every floor, it takes 1 day for complete the paint work. Okay, so first day he completed first floor, second day he completed second floor, third day he completed third floor, and fourth day he completed fourth floor. It takes 4 days for complete the paint work for this building. Because of the requirement is 4, the resources are only 1. Requirements are not equal to resources. Okay, so that's why it takes time. So for example, so whenever the building owner, he assigned he recruited 3 more people along with the existing one. So see here what happened. First day, the first person he completed the first floor. The same day, second person he completed second floor. The same day, third person he completed third floor, and fourth day, the fourth person he completed fourth floor. So within 1 day, the 4 floors are completed because of the resources are equal to requirement. That's why. Okay. So the same example is we so we assign to SAP HANA. See here. This is SAP HANA system, not database. This is HANA system. Database is a part of HANA system only. Okay. So see here. This is on CPU. This is a CPU. CPU and CPU. Okay. So 4 CPUs are there. Why? Because already we discussed, no? So we need high configuration. SAP installation purpose, SAP configuration purpose, we need high configuration like the hard disk is so minimum is 1 TB, and CPU means the processor. CPU nothing but processors. So we need a minimum. These are called as a multi-core process. Like if you take the CPU, if you take any CPU having the processor, okay. So see here, the HANA system having four processors. CPU nothing but processor, four processor. Every processor having some cores, cores, dual core, quad core, multi core. Nothing but cores. So depends on the price, the dual core and quad core, multi core CPUs are there. So see here. Okay, so see here, this is the first one, two, three, four cores are there in the CPU. One, two, three, four, five cores are there. Second CPU, one, two, three, four, five. Five cores are third CPU. One, two, three, four, five. Five cores are in fourth CPU. The first request is handled by the first core in first CPU. The second request is handled by second core in the first CPU. The third request is handled by third core in the first CPU. Fourth request is handled by fourth core in the first CPU. The remaining three CPUs are in idle status. They are looking for the request. So at a time, not only four, like 400 or thousands of queries we can able to execute. Means this is nothing but parallel, not sequence. But if you take traditional database, parallel processing is not there. Okay, sequence wise only is there. So parallel processing is impossible in traditional database. Okay, so every CP having the cores, every core is handled by one request. So combination of the CPUs is nothing but a HANA system. CPUs means so we are using like a quad core systems. So four quad core systems is collection of the four quad core systems is nothing but a one HANA system. Okay, so that's why the HANA configuration. If you want to install SAP HANA, OS and RAM, a database, processor, the OS. If you take the OS, until unless means at present, so SUSE Linux only. At present, SUSE Linux Enterprise Edition. 11 only supported. Only SUSE. Windows is not possible. We are not able to install SAP on Windows systems. And RAM. So minimum is 128. Means the recommended is 128. 64 also supported. But the thing is, we are not able to back up. Means like activities, backups, restores, recovery activities are not possible in 64-bit, 64 GB RAM. Okay, so minimum is 64 GB, but recommended is 128 GB. So next to the database. 128 GB. Xeon processor. So hard disk is no problem. 500 GB also supported, but 1 TB is recommended. Okay, so these are the main. For example, if you take ECC on 4 GB RAM, we required is 500 GB hard disk. If you take 128 GB RAM, how much of the hard disk we require? We think, but the thing is only 1 TB is supported. 500 also supported, but the recommended is 1 TB because of only for backups purpose. The transaction data is available in RAM only. That's why we need RAM. So we need the RAM size, not hard disk size. Okay. So this is about SAP HANA. Okay, I will show you HANA system. This is for only like this is Windows 2012 server. You can see here. This is Windows 2012 server. HANA Studio is there. Where is HANA Studio? This is HANA Studio. This is look like SAP GUI in our SAP ECC. This is like SAP logon pad. Okay, from here only we can able to log into SAP HANA database, and we can create like users administration, role administration, everything we can perform in HANA Studio only. Okay, and so that's why we discussed just now. HANA Studio supported Windows also, but database is supported only SUSE Linux. That's why we install VMware. On VMware, we install SUSE Linux. This is SUSE Linux. This is SUSE Linux, and here there is no logon. Like there is no logon pads here. For example, if you take SAP ECC, SAP MMC is there for start the server, but here there is no SAP MMC. We should use some codes for start the HANA database. We should use some codes. So here we entered that the code sudo hyphen su tstadm. Tst means that's a SID name. tstadm. Okay, so whenever enter that one, automatically going to be start. Okay, HDB start also. After that, see here, we need to enter HDB start. HDB means HANA database start. There is no SAP MMC. Everything is codes in SUSE Linux. Okay, so once the server, we need to wait up to 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Then we got this line. Okay, and this line. Okay, so see here, so okay and this line. So until unless we got this one okay, we should not go to SAP HANA Studio. Okay, so once the HANA database is completely started, then only go to HANA database. Okay, so this is the line. So if we want to stop the server, HDB stop. HDB should be capital and the stop is in small characters. So in SUSE Linux, case sensitive is there. Compulsory we need to follow case sensitive. Okay, so this is, and here just we for start and stop purpose only we are using SUSE Linux. Yeah. And we can perform in everything you can perform in HANA Studio only. Okay. See here, logged in. That's why it shows as so green. See here in here user, the list of users, existing users. We are able to, if you want to check the existing users, just expand users. These are the existing users. If you want to create new user, right click on it, new user. No need to use any T code here. Okay. If you want to create role, right click on it, new role. Okay. So if you want to backup, if you want to take the backup, right click on it. Everything is navigation. If you want to install license, everything is navigation only. We never use any T codes. Okay. So this is SAP HANA. Okay.